Let's talk a little bit about restless leg syndrome. And this is going to be a little bit different than what most practitioners might suggest for tools to deal with restless leg. Now, it is actually very, very common to have restless leg syndrome, and it's definitely not something, in my opinion, that we need to be medicated for. And if we want to talk about supplementally what we can do, which we'll start off with, it often indicates people need more magnesium or more GABA. But let's look at restless leg and what really, really is happening and why, yes, definitely we want to support our brain and we want to support our magnesium levels and we want to support our whole body and we want to run labs and get tests and see what protocols and supplements our bodies need. That's super, super important to healing. But when it comes to restless leg, all we have to do, and it doesn't even have to be restless leg. If I'm going to get restless leg, it's going to be like restless back. It happens in my back and I just, I can't sleep, can't sit still. But all we have to really do is look at toddlers. And I currently have a 4-year-old who I co-sleep with, and I put him to bed every night. And I can tell you that he has restless body. And it's very, very normal. It's called his brain is not ready to go to bed and his body is not ready to go to bed. But we have contrived this bedtime for him and he's not ready. So, what happens when we go and lay down and he gets into bed, he cannot lay still. And we might want them to lay still. And when we go to bed, we might want to go to bed and we might feel that, it's 11 o'clock. I need to go to bed. I have to wake up at this time. I want to go to bed and lay down and sleep. And when we get into bed, we can't. We can't stop moving. And our whole body wants to move. And we're just like, oh gosh, I just have to move. And that's what we need to do. We need to move. We need to awaken our inner toddler. So when I go to bed with Caden, he will jump up and down, he will squirm, he will roll over me, off the bed, get up and down, move around, and eventually, all of a sudden, he just is asleep. Like it goes from bing, 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 bing to, and it's like a switch. It just turns off. And so we have to really get back to that. We have to recognize that sometimes when we go to bed, even though we feel that we need to go to bed and maybe we should be going to bed and maybe our brain is really tired, but our body's not tired and it wants to move. So we need to move. We can actually do a really good meditation where we breathe into every area of our body. So we start at our feet and we contract our feet as hard as we can. We contract and hold, and then we let it go and we breathe out. And then we breathe into our calves and we hold and we let it go. And then we do our knees and then we do our thighs and then our pelvis and our glutes and then our abs and then our shoulders and our neck and our head. And then we can even contract everything and let it go and continue to do that until that restless leg feeling goes away. And it might take 5 minutes, it might take 10 minutes. But the worst thing we can do is to just be like, I need to be sleeping. I have to sleep. Why isn't this feeling going away? The other worst thing that we can do is turn on technology. So turning on blue light and trying to get that to distract our brain is also not going to help. The meditation is going to help. Another thing that often really helps is having one orgasm, or if you're a female, you can have multiple orgasms. But orgasms help because again, we're tensing and releasing. So you can read if you want to read, and if your legs just won't stop moving, then move your legs, like bounce, whatever you have to do, but recognize we don't have to shut these things off all the time. It's just like sleep mindset. If you're not sleeping at night, sometimes it's a detox issue, sometimes it's a gut issue, but oftentimes it's a spiritual issue. There's something trying to come through to you at night. I wrote Heal Yourself in the middle of the night by not sleeping. That's when everything came through to me at that time. So it's recognizing that not all of our symptoms need to just be shut off. We want to listen to our body, we want to honor our body, and we want to look a little deeper as to why they're happening. And we also have to realize that the pharmaceutical industry is driven by making you believe that when something is wrong with you, you need to shut it off and you need to take a pill to shut that off. So we really have to recondition ourselves to realize that that is not the case. Most of these things that are happening are quite natural for us. And if we really tune in and listen, we often don't even need a supplemental answer. There is a other answer that we can get to that can help our body move through these things and find peace and balance in a much easier and healthier way.